Very good morning to you. And if you're just joining us, we are live outside of SOCU, where a protest is taking place by the coalition um, for Winston Jordan, who they have taken the installed government as charged with trumped up charges, I should say, to Mr. Jordan. So we are outside of the SOCU office in Georgetown, just a door away from the immigration office, and the protesters, peaceful protesters, are outside protesting against this injustice, this trumped up charges against Mr. Jordan, former finance minister. As you would have been following in your news media, the trumped up charges by Minister Jordan, the former minister, who have been exposing the government's financial aspect of this country, who have been taking funds from the consolidated funds wantonly, who have been mismanaging the whole country. And Mr. Jordan has been pointing out their failures every step of the way, and the government, the installed government, doesn't like it. So they find some trumped up charges like they normally do to stop Mr. Jordan from exposing them. Well, we will not have none of it. So we are out here protesting, calling on the government to stop these wanton abuse of their power, these wanton misuse of the state resources, and we are going to put a foot down on it. So boots is on the ground. We're calling on all our supporters to come right out and join the protest. It's just a door away from the immigration office, and here is where they have him, Mr. Jordan, in for questioning. And so we are out here. We're going to get some comments from some of the protesters, and we're going to permanently condemn this injustice, this wrongful charge of this former honorable minister. We have the police out here as well, observing, taking photos. They're on the walkie-talkies and they're talking to whoever they're talking to. But we're out here and we are going to ensure that justice is served and that we have raised the concerns from our supporters on the ground. If you watch, you would see on the placards, end discrimination. You see there, end discrimination. Stop PVP plundering of our treasury. We have investigated Georgetown for alleged bribery, right? And we go down the line and we see end discrimination. Stop the political harassment. Stop violating people's human rights. And we go down corrupt Jagdeo Ali PVP. Stop abusing our power. Violating human rights. And so we are out there. Let's hear from the protesters. Let's hear from them.
Who is Sue? Who is Sue? Who is Sue? Who is Sue? Who is Sue?
Police officers taking photographs. I don't know. They normally do this, but there they are taking photos. Up in your face. We have the GS. We have MP Walter Lawrence out here. We have MP Gita Chandan Edmund, other supporters. We're going to get some comment from them just now, but we want to see right now the support out here and why they're holding Mr. Jordan for questioning on trumped up charges. Just wicked trumped up charges. No proof, no evidence, but they're just harassing people. And so the protesters are out here and they're going to ensure that their voices are heard. And they're coming from all over the place. So if you look, you will see this police officer here taking photographs of protesters. etc. So they're holding there. We're going to be having Mr. Jordan right in there. That's the building over there. That is the office of SOCU. The office of SOCU over there. Jack Dio is a crook. Bring him to book.
Who is Sue? 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 Who is Sue?
So we're going to have a chat with Mr. Vince Roy Jordan, Honorable Member of Parliament. Mr. Jordan, let us get your thoughts on this trumped-up charges by the SOCU on our former Honorable Minister of Finance. What are your thoughts on this whole issue?
Well, my thoughts clearly are that these are Jagdio's plan and they plot to victimize the former Minister of Finance, and it is nothing else but pure political discrimination, victimization, hooliganism, bullyism in all its form and fashion. And we see here is that what they're trying to do is to bring fear into our camp, which is the APNU+AFC, by attacking those key prominent ministers who would have served in the previous government, and they're trumping up charges of all kinds so as to get them to stop speaking. Mr. Vincent Jordan is one who is very vocal on what is happening in the present administration and what we would have done. And unlike what we did, this administration is with the total opposite. We see only this morning in the news that they would have withdrawn a number of, I think it's $41 billion from the NRF, National Resource Fund.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things that we would have put in place and in line with proper constitutional measures, whereby with parliamentary oversight and all of that, so that the government will be held accountable for money spent. And here you see when the PPP government come into power, they took all of that out, they threw it out the window. And we know the last December, I think it was the 29th episode, what took place in the National Assembly, where they moved all the responsibilities from that oversight body and placed it in the hands of the president and that of the finance minister. And clearly we see here what they're doing is trying to frustrate Mr. Jordan, but we will stand in support of Mr. Jordan at all costs, and we will ensure that he's being represented not only politically but legally. And so the fight continues, and we are calling as citizens, as members of parliament, that it is not only Mr. Jordan that they should go after. Start going after those corrupt ministers within the government that are presently sitting. Start going after those corrupt REOs and other public officials that they have sitting in office at this moment. And the time will come when we will also have the opportunity to expose the corruption under the PPP when we get back into office.
We've also heard about the Castellani House Unity Monument, where the government wants to now dismantle. The Unity Monument that was there built for over 2 decades. Now they want to dismantle that Unity Monument there in the Castellani House. Another reckless attitude of the government.
Well, Mr. Weeks, you got to understand, from the time the PPP government took office, all they're bent on is destroying what the APNU+AFC would have set up. Apart from that, anything that is aligned or seen to come from even the founder leader in Forbes Sampson Bono, anything that is aligned and comes from the PNC and the coalition, they try to destroy, they try to get rid of it. What they don't cut down, they break up, they push down, they shut down. You check across the regions, in region 10 what they did, in region 5 what they did, you check it in this very capital city. The things that they're doing is just to regress rather than progress. And so the PPP is just bent on going backwards, and you got to be very careful also to understand that they're not doing things to affect their supporters and affect their work in government. They're doing things so as to affect the supporters of the coalition, the works that the coalition would have put into place. They're making it look as though we have done nothing over the entire 5 years, and so they're now coming to say that they're king of the Jews. They can save all, they can do all in these few months or years that they're there. But it is clearly the total opposite. What they're doing is destroying rather than rebuilding. Look at guys, SOCU. Iflat Estate has not produced over 100 tons of sugar since being in operation for this crop. They're not talking about the failures of guys, SOCU. They're not talking about the failures of the public servants. They're not talking about not paying public servants wages and increases from since 2020, and then coming and give them a mere 7%, 5%, and these nonsense. They're not talking about what they're doing in the health system, trying to take away the license from the nurses and all of that. So what we see here is that the government that is installed, albeit, is focusing on just destroying and attacking their political.
I want you to go back one more time to tell the viewers about this over $40 billion that they have taken out from the Natural Resources Fund and how detrimental that could be for the people of Guyana, who will not even have a piece or chance to benefit from those funds.
But what Guyanese need to understand is that $40-odd billion will now be placed into the consolidated fund, and with it being transferred there and projects being budgeted under our national budget and being catered for there, it now gives the PPPC their hands under the finance minister. Well, we don't really have a finance minister. That person that is responsible for finance, the senior minister in the Ministry of the Office of the President, it now gives them the leverage and the full chance to take as they wish, to spend as they wish. So we might hear that they're putting $41 billion into the consolidated fund, but how much of this $40-odd billion is really being spent on the Guyanese? How much of it is really being spent on infrastructure? How much is really being spent on education? How much is really being spent on health? We don't know, because when they place it in the budget and we ask them what are the projects that will be spent by the oil resource, the fund, what are the projects that will be spent by the monies garnered, they could not say. All they said is that it is a budgetary allocation. It is a plan for the year. We don't want to hear that. We want to hear what the $200 billion will do, the 200 million, whatever it is that they withdrawn. What will it do? Will it go to building schools? Will it go to building roads? Will it go to the expansion of the air? What is it? Where is it going? We want to know that exactly. And with the $41 billion now being withdrawn, Guyanese need to pay keen attention as to what will happen.
And of course, the opposition will ensure that that money is accounted for.
Definitely.
To book.
The opposition will seek as far and as practical as possible to ensure that we have answers for those monies. And I can tell you what, when we go to the National Assembly, which is the highest decision-making body in the land, where we ask questions which ought to be answered by ministers of government, they come with frivolous answers. I can tell you, for example, in Region 5, the administration built 2 incinerators. And I simply asked the Minister of Local Government, the Honorable Damlal, and I asked him for an explanation. Because when we left office, those incinerators were catered for at some $12 million. When he came, he said one is $20-something million. So I asked him to give us a breakdown. Tell us how these monies are really being spent on these incinerators. And you know what he said? If you are there present in the national, in writing, he responded to me. If you were there present in the National Assembly, you would have heard. But I'm asking him for clarification based on what he said and what was budgeted for. And these are the responses that you get from the callous and irresponsible government that we have here to put up with, to contend with these, you know what we normally call it?
Yes, fraudulent installed government.
Fraudulent installed.
So Mr. Jordan is in there already. Has he come as yet? Has he arrived? You know?
I'm not too certain if he's in there, but I know for sure that he should be there. And it's been for the question. It is set for him to be for the question today and possibly pass through the court.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Another Jordan. This is Vince Roy Jordan, not Winston Jordan. This is Vince Roy Jordan, the Honorable Member of Parliament and the representative for region number 5. So here we are. We are not sure if Mr. Jordan is in there, but we were told that he's supposed to be here for 9 o'clock to get for questioning. We were here for 9, and I have not seen him arrive, but I get some more word from you if he has arrived, if he is in there, if he is having questioned or being questioned by police officers and other government officials who are on the phone instructing police to question Mr. Jordan on all sort of trumped up charges. But anyhow, here we are outside of SOCU, and we have protesters out here. Ma'am, you want to say something about Mr. Jordan? Why they have him in there?
Free Jordan, jail Jack Dio.
You want him to free Jordan and jail Jack Dio?
Right.
You want to know who's true? What are your thoughts, ma'am? Why are you out there supporting Mr. Jordan?
Because they're holding him innocently and they're trying to frame him.
Okay, so you want him to be freed?
Yes.
All right, that's a protester there saying they give him having. They say, ma'am, what are your thoughts out here this morning protesting for Mr. Jordan?
Dio.
You want him to be free? She's saying jail Jack Dio. She just wants Jack Dio to be jailed. There we have Mr. Jordan there. Ma'am, your thoughts on the protest line? Your comments on this whole trumped up charge of Mr. Jordan. What are your thoughts?
Free Jordan, jail Jack.
That's all you're going to say?
That's
all right. She just wanted.
Free Jordan.
You want Jack Dio to be jailed as well, do you? She wants Jack Dio to be jailed. And they're all out here and they're having their say, making their mark on the protest line.
Jail Jack Dio.
Your comments, sir, about Mr. Jordan. Why they have him in there? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, since the PPP installed government took office, we have carrying several of the APNU+AFC ministers to SOCU, the CID, and they're forgetting that they also have stories at these institutes that they are supposed to still answer for. And bringing Jordan, who was the Minister of Finance, who will keep with the constitution of the country concerning how he should conduct himself in office. They are bringing him here now to say that he has conducted himself without following the constitution. If a cabinet make a decision, Mr. Jordan has to carry out that decision that the cabinet made. He's not going to make a decision on his own without the cabinet. So what Jagio and the PPP is doing is just trying to bring our ministers in front of the magistrate to disrespect them and to have other people within the rest of the Caribbean country to disrespect them too. But when you disrespect your own, how people will trust you? You understand me? And the same Caribbean people will disrespect you because they're going to say, if you can have a fruitful investigation in your own, with your own citizens, what's going to happen with them if they and them have some agreement? What's going on with Suriname and Guyana with the agreement concerning the fishermen them? Suriname is not honoring no agreement that they met with us here in Guyana because they're looking and see how the PPP and SOCU government is reacting to its own citizens.
Thank you, sir. That's a comment from a protester. And we are on the protest line. We are here. We are all of them calling for Mr. Jack Dio to go. Andy, your thoughts on the protest line this morning? What are your thoughts being out there with this trumped up charges for Mr. Jordan by this installed government?
Well, like any other charges against our people, we have serious concern. I think that by right we should be able to back Mr. and support Mr. Jordan, because we all know it points in the direction of political victimization. Simple as that. And you know the list goes on and on. It's not only Mr. Jordan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's in the honorable MP. He's another councillor in the east coast of Demerara for the Buxton NDC area. He had his say just now. Yes, sir. Your thoughts on the trumped up charges, the whole governance structure of the PVP?
Wickedness, pure wickedness. Wickedness to the highest. You know, everybody got a turn. And I hope when the turn come and they feel it, they enjoy it. We had a chance in 5, 4 years, 3 years, something, and we didn't lock up nobody. We free them up and so on. They ain't got no evidence, and then we can move on, get back, because at that time we do some investigation, the government does some investigation at that time, and they want to get back. Pure wickedness. But the process put them in the hellfire. Don't worry them. The place is clear already.
Thank you, sir. If you just join us, we're live outside of SOCU, and Mr. Winston Jordan, the former Minister of Finance, is being held in there, being held up by officers of the law and those who are following the instructions of the PPP installed government to intimidate former government ministers and those who have been giving credible evidence of financial fraud and financial improprieties under this installed government. So Mr. Jordan, who has been analyzing the whole structure of the government financial aspect, have been exposing these things from since the coalition got out of office. And it is damning. And the government, installed Ali government, doesn't like it. So they are attacking former ministers. You would have understand and know that they have also charged Carol Joseph. They have also charged James Bond. They've also charged Valda Lawrence, the honorable member of parliament, and other members of the party. They have charged, trumped up charges. No evidence, nothing to show that they have concrete evidence of anything wrong. And so they will find something from some backyard and say that you know, they have been found to be, you know, culpable of a crime. None of the calls, nothing as that has happened before. They have been found with no evidence. They have no evidence of any fraud. So they're going to trump up these charges and going to lie, as they always do, and say that they are, you know, that they have some kind of evidence. But there's none, as you all would know. None. as you all also know, that the government installed are full of lies. They are full of lies. Plenty lies. You've seen it, you've heard it, you have seen it on television, you've seen it in the press, you have seen how they have spoke about the NIS monies, the clinical monies, you have seen it all, how they have lied. And so you cannot take this government to task in terms of honesty. They're not an honest government at all. And so here we have Mr. Jordan in there, right in there, right there is the office coming in and out, in and out, in and out of that door, in and out of that door there. And they have Mr. Jordan questioning him on matters where the truth lies. And so they want to find Trump up charges, they want to find all kinds of crimes to pin Mr. Jordan, but there is none. Let me say, there is nothing that they will find. His record is impeccable. And so this is what this government is all about. Finding charges, trumped up charges, to intimidate you, to scare you from telling the truth. Well, the coalition will have none of it. We will speak out. We will show you out there, the honorable members of the viewing public, the truth. The truth. You know what? I want you to take, look, the truth matters. Look at them. They beat him. Yeah, look at them. And they are also filming us. Right? They're filming us. You know? That's what they're doing in there. They're filming. Taking out the cameras and filming. They can't come out and show their faces. So look at them. They have a camera there. And the SOCU officers there, they're filming. They're filming to try to intimidate us, but no, we will not be intimidated. We will not be deterred. We will not back down. And so if you're in town, you can come on out. You can come on out and join the protest with us this morning. You know? Come now, come. Let's try to get them across the road. Yes. If you watch it, I'm gonna. Yes, look. I'm gonna carry it. Look, one of them watch shooting. Shooting right there. Shooting. I'm shooting him back as well. You're alive, my brother. You're alive. You're alive. So we're outside of SOCU office in Georgetown, and we are protesting for the release of Mr. Winston Jordan, the former finance minister, who they have right in there where that camera. There's a cameraman filming right there to the window, and I'm filming him back as well. He's right there shooting the protesters in terms of filming, and we're also filming back. Let him know that we're not going to be intimidated by him and his camera. On some of the placards we have in front here this morning, Jack Doe is a wanted man. Arrest him. Sue. Jack Doe is a crook. Bring him to book. We have here the promise. The police is a political tool. Stop the political harassment. We have Jack Doe is a crook again. Bring him to book. Guyana is a police state. Some of the placards, some of the words on the placards here this morning on the protest line. As we have there, arrest King Liar Jack Doe. There it is. Arrest King Liar Jack Doe. We've just seen Mr. Jordan has arrived, I was told. Mr. Jordan is coming out of his vehicle. I'm going to take a walk over and show you. Mr. Jordan has arrived, And so we're going to trying to get a comment from him as soon as he is out of his vehicle. Winston Jordan, who are not against, they're protesting against them. Protesting against them who are going to question Mr. Jordan on trumped up charges.
Okay.
What kind of impromptu thing you told me of that?
But Jordan, I hear you there.
Him?
Where you just from? Where you just from? People, but they say,
The GPU,
I heard about that as well, yeah.
sometimes don't some more people going to they got their members.
Okay. I'm gonna take a walk over there just now. So we are out there. We are out here. Just join us. We're out here. We're just having a side talk with Mr. Andy, the counselor for the East Coast area, and he was telling me that there's a protest also at the Ghana Public Service Credit Union, where some of our members are going to be going after this protest. And so we're going to take a walk over there as well to give solidarity to our brothers and sisters in the GPSCU. Now, we are waiting. We were just told that Mr. Jordan is not in the building. He has just arrived. And so we're waiting to get to speak to him as soon as we can. So we're going to stay out here until we get a chance to speak to Mr. Jordan before he gets in to the SOCU office for questioning. So we're going to stay here for a little while.
Free Jordan! Free Jordan! Free Jordan! Hey, John,
All right, so if you just join us, we're outside of SOCU headquarters here in Georgetown, and we are waiting. We have Mr. Winston Jordan, who's outside of the SOCU waiting on his lawyer. I was told that to walk into SOCU for questioning. We are waiting on him to pass this way. We have some protesters out there who are in support of Mr. Winston Jordan and who are against this trumped up charges of by the SOCU and by the installed government on Mr. Winston Jordan, the former Minister of Finance. And so we're making a statement here that these trumped up charges are wrong, they are unjust, they are insane, they should not have never been a charge. And so we are here in support of Mr. Jordan. The protesters are here. We have Mr. Jordan, that's Vincroy Jordan, the honorable member of Parliament, who a while ago spoke to us on camera and spoke about all the injustices and the mood and attitude of the government in terms of its governance in the country. We had on the line as well Ms. Honorable Member Gita Chandan Edmund, the Shadow Minister of Home Affairs. We had Ms. Walter Lawrence as well out here giving support and to make their statement in terms of their presence here this morning in solidarity of Mr. Winston Jordan. And so we are outside. It is SOCU out here this morning, and they're waiting to question Mr. Jordan on trumped up charges that the government has instituted on this honorable man, this great son of the soil who has given service to this country unquestionably. And so we are here to support him. We are here to be in solidarity with him, and we are calling on the government to stop these wanton, trumped up charges that they're instituting on people of this country who only have the best interest at heart for the development of our dear land of Ghana. And so we're out here waiting on Mr. Jordan to come this way, see if we're going to have a chat with him as well, and then we're going to at least go over to the Ghana Public Service Credit Union area where a protest is also taking place. Okay, there's Mr. Jordan. Here's Mr. Jordan. He's coming right now. Good morning, sir. Good morning. We're live. What are they calling you in again for this morning?
I don't know, but I will when I go there I will find out and afterward I will tell you. But right now I can't make a statement because as you know, when I come out then I will be able to say something.
You know how long they're gonna have you in there for?
I don't know. Right? But after this I have court tomorrow. So that is the kind of situation I'm going through. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
So Mr. Jordan is saying this is the kind of harassment they're taking him through. His attorneys with him as well, and they're going up to. And I understand. So here's Mr. Jordan. He's going in now to SOCU. He would not say much right now. So the Mr. Jordan is going into SOCU at this time. So Mr. Jordan is in. He's going to be questioned. Right now, he told me while ago he cannot say nothing much until after the questioning. He's going to have court tomorrow as well, and we're going to see how this is going to go down. So Mr. Jordan is in there right now. He's in SOCU. He's in there. He's in with his attorney. He's going to be having questions. We're going to be questioned by those detectives in there and other persons the government would have chosen to question him on a whole lot of trumped up charges. So we're gonna keep you up to date in terms of how this will go out. Tomorrow is court. We're gonna be there as well. We're gonna bring you these live coverages to ensure that you get and see exactly how this all gonna play out in the coming days. And so that's it from us outside of SOCU this morning. We are going to ensure that we keep you up to date or updated on every aspect of this case pertaining to Mr. Jordan and these trumped up charges, these illegal charges, these intimidation, these scary tactics that the PPP is trying to put on us to shut us up. But I will let you know it will not work, it will not happen. And though we're going to keep our feet on the ground, we're going to put boots on the ground, we're going to ensure that justice prevail in this country, and that we have a country that we can all call home. Right now, it's not a country we can call home. It is a country that is under siege. That is under siege by this installed government, this installed Ali Diaglio regime. So stay tuned. We're going to go over to GPSCU and see what's going on over there. We were told there's a protest there as well, and see how we can give support to our brothers and sisters in the GPSCU.
Free Jordan!
Church platform, daily Jacobin. The church platform, daily Jacobin. Daily Jacobin. Daily Jacobin. Church platform. Free Jordan. 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 Free Jordan.
It's coming out. I see Mr. Jordan is coming out. I see it's coming out. When Mr. Jordan is coming out, I just kind of shocking. Like they don't have any questions. So he's coming across. Yeah, he's going to be coming across. Well, Mr. Jordan, that was quick. That was quick, Mr. Jordan. What happened?
I'll let my lawyer speak.
Talk to us.
Nothing happened. The police had put an allegation against him involving a certain gentleman. Now we would have started to investigate the matter. And if you know the name of the person, you put the allegation to the person, but you have a statement of the person. They say they have no statement that they heard the man is now hospitalized. So you have to come back on the 27th.
On the 27th
of May.
27th of May.
So now we have to go to court before man.
Do you know what those charges are that you're going to the court for?
No, that is the original BKT warrant.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to court.
Not in relation to this matter.
Not in the matter.
And Mr. Jordan, I know this might be very awful to you and embarrassing to you. Any comment you want to make in terms of how this has been affecting you and your family and your whole career as a career economist in this country?
I think any sane person, any rational person, any person who believes in equality, justice, and fairness will now understand where these allegations, where their roles and where they're not going. They were all designed, they're politically trumped up, they're designed to harass me, intimidate me, and everything else. You know, they have the powers of the state. I'm a single individual who served this country with distinction as a professional, okay? And they want to tear that down in my 6th to 5th year on this board, okay? Now, I depend on you guys and the rest of this fair-minded community we call Guyana to say enough is enough. It's nonsense. Okay? They have affected my professional life. They have affected me regionally. They have affected me internationally. You know what happened to my health on December the 2nd? I am forever on tablets and pills as a result of that. My blood pressure is all over the place. And, you know, as I said, I believe in the God. And when this is all over, I hope I have avenues of redress. Right? Justice will prevail. Justice will prevail. I did nothing. I did nothing but prosecute my affairs in government with the highest caliber of integrity. And to try to stain my career and try to stain me personally while people are laughing behind their blinds and in their rooms is not easy for me. Okay? That is what I will.
Thank you.
Remember, when Jah is standing by your side, then why should I be afraid? God bless all.
Thank you, sir.
With your help, and with the help of the rest of the minded Guyana, I will be seeing. I will be. You have brought me here so far, and I'm sure you will. My next date over here is the 27th at 10 o'clock. Not 9, at 10 o'clock. Okay?
Tomorrow is 9 o'clock at Code 3.
Code 3.
At the Georgetown Masjid Code.
Okay, we'll be there. We'll make a sacrifice.
Thank you very much.
There is Mr. Jordan asking us to keep supporting, keep praying for him, and to keep, to keep also having him in your prayers, because this is going to be a long battle. As he said, they wanted this damage his integrity. It has damaged his integrity locally. It has damaged his integrity internationally. It has affected his health and his business, etc. So this man, we are going to be rallying around him. We're going to be supporting him and asking all of you to come out tomorrow morning at 9, Code 3. He's going to be going over there for another matter. And so we are asking you to come out and support Mr. Winston Jordan, the former Minister of Finance, his integrity, a man who has been nothing but giving his professional opinion, his professional service to this country, and the PPP is attacking him with trumped up charges. So, Mr. Jordan, we're going to be praying for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And we're going to keep in contact with you. Thank you. That's Mr. Winston Jordan there for you. He went in. It didn't take us more than 3 minutes. He went in and he came back out. They had nothing to say on these charges. That is what we're talking about. That is what we keep telling you on these broadcasts, that this government is just on intimidation tactic. They're just on intimidation, bullying, and trying to scare us with their intimidation, but it's not going to work. Mr. Jordan is going to be supported. We're going to be praying for him. We're going to give him all the support that we can, and to ensure that this installed government stop with this nonsense, what they're doing. So that's our broadcast from this place here on next to SOCU. The building that we are at is just opposite the immigration office here in Evil area. I think this is where? Stamp Street. So we are ending our broadcast. Protest is over, and we want to thank all of you for tuning in and for being a part of us live on this broadcast. We're going to see you right back here tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Where we're going to have another court matter that I think it is 9 o'clock. Next week, the 27th, is going to be 10. Yes. So the 27th of May is going to be 10 o'clock. He's going to be coming here for tomorrow at 9 at the Magistrate Court, Code 3. There's another matter there he's going to be going to for, and we're going to be there to lend our support by giving you the broadcast and to have you follow along with us every step of the way. Thank you very much for staying tuned. Thank you for viewing our program this morning rather. We're going to see you tonight at 7 o'clock. We're going to have Coretta McDonald, who's going to be having her show with Mr. Ben, the chairman of the GPSTU. He's going to be interviewing her this evening at 7 o'clock on her show on the APNU+AFC PNCR platform. You're going to see her there, and we're going to bring into you all that happened. She's going to be taking us through with Mr. Trevor Ben, the chairman of the GPSTU, all that transpired with this this illegal no confidence motion that brought against Mr. Ben. So Coretta McDonald is going to be having our show tonight at 7 o'clock on the APNU AFC PNCR platform, that is Facebook and YouTube, and you can join us then for that broadcast. Okay? So that's it. Have a good rest of your day, and we're going to see you right back here tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock from the court. Goodbye.
Yeah, go by.